All right, guys, episode 22 of Keep It a Buck podcast this week. Our episode covers a tragedy our families and communities face every day. Our friend Bryce Lombardo has lived an extraordinary life with roadblocks and extreme challenges he's overcome from time and time again. Bryce let us in on the feeling of addiction, abandonment, and the darkness he lived through growing up to now make it to the other side. Bryce, in a new light, is ready to share the story that he has lived through to help the next young man struggling and unsure if there is a more quality of life to live. So with that being said, let's get into the interview and enjoy the content. Like, subscribe, and comment, guys.
Get it.
Let's go. Yes. Drink of the week this week. We got the Grey Goose for our guest. He requested some vodka, so we got some fucking vodka. Top shelf Grey Goose.
Goose is loose.
My boy. Hell yeah. So let's get him in. Let's get him right. Let's take a sip. Let's cheers, and let's rate this drink, and we'll get into the interview.
Let's get it.
Cheers, cheers, boys.
Cheers, B.
How's that lemonade?
Lemonade with the Sprite.
How's that
I think it
lemonade?
evens it out,
Gives it a
right?
nice little
Telling you.
even out.
Yeah, so we mixed the Grey Goose with the lemonade and Sprite this week, and dude, honestly, I like it.
I like it.
but-
Give it that carbonation.
Really smooth.
Hell yeah. It's the drink of choice for me, man.
What do we got the alcohol percentage on Grey Goose? 40%.
40.
That's fire.
I feel like that's most like top shelf shits around 40. Like Hennessy's at 40%.
40%. Absolutely.
That's your pretty much go-to when you go out.
Yeah, I can't really stomach dark liquor at all or beer.
I used to be like that, but I fucking like now within the past probably like since I got to college, I started getting into like fucking more dark liquor, like fucking whiskey and rum and shit like that. That shit I've definitely became accustomed to, and actually I haven't been drinking vodka as much as I used to. Like I used to always stamp my fucking.
I can't.
I know every time
was
I'd
always
make an
the big
appearance,
vodka
I'd
guy.
always have vodka, but no, dude.
Was
Definitely.
a big Ciroc guy right
We
here.
had
Yeah,
Ciroc, like
huge
crazy.
Ciroc. I'll still pop out some
Both of you
Ciroc.
cats.
Yeah.
What are you saying? We used to pull up to the house parties with the bottle of
Yeah.
Ciroc 24/7 back in the day.
The peach.
absolutely.
The peach, baby.
Peach. And then the green
that shit was
apple.
fire.
You know it. You already know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like you were more of a Smirnoff guy, though.
Me?
You have the Smirnoff face.
He doesn't hate
No.
on Smirnoff though.
I don't hate on it because there's definitely like a place for Smirnoff. Like Smirnoff is like the great mix like drink. You know what I mean? Like you mix Smirnoff, you don't just drink
It's
Smirnoff.
fucking crazy. Super off topic, and I'll say it quick. We went to this club in Orlando one time, and their bottle, they gave us a menu for their bottle because we got like a hookah and shit, and we were getting beers. They gave us the menu. A bottle of Smirnoff was $138.
Oh my god.
I would have walked right out.
Hennessy was $350
Fuck that.
God
for just
damn.
to look cool with a bottle in the club.
That's fucking wild.
Dudes will do anything for those females.
Yeah,
They really
facts.
will, bro.
It's crazy.
It's so wild. All right, well, what do you guys give the drink? What do you guys give the Goose? I'm gonna give the Goose a 9.
Gluten-free,
Every
Oh, yeah.
every vodka is.
Yes, sir.
Every vodka's
so that's
gluten
why all
free.
the fucking keto people drink this shit.
Yeah,
That ain't me.
people don't really know that, but like Tito's is kind of a genius because they brand that gluten-free shit like on the front of their bottle, but most vodkas actually just kind of like low-key
I
throw
would
it
have
in
never
there.
knew that was
Tito's-
distilled from French wheat.
Yep. No, so Tito's actually uses the gluten-free thing because a lot of people don't know that vodka's gluten-free. So they really use that as their fucking
So they
like,
just throw it on the front?
they
and
do. They
fucking-
throw it on the front for marketing purposes because there's how many people are gluten-free? Like so fucking many.
Out of nowhere.
You know what I mean? Like out of fucking nowhere, it's like a crazy marketing move.
That is very. I never looked at it that
yeah,
way at
no,
all.
it's insane, bro. But like every other vodka does not put that on the front. They always throw it low key, if not even throw it in there at all.
I was gonna say it's labeled literally on the top of the bottle.
Mm-hmm. There's fucking Tito's handle right up there. If it was turned around, we'd be able to see that shit.
Does it say it right on there?
Yeah, if we turned it around, it would say that right there.
Rating?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
I'm gonna give it a 8.
8's
You gotta
fair. 8's fair.
This is my favorite drink of choice. It's a 10
Yeah,
for
10
me,
for you?
man.
This is really good though. I like the mix and
The mix is-
everything.
a
I'll
mix
give it
is
a
a 9.
I'll give it a. I'll give it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 9.
The mix is a 9. Grey Goose regular for me is an 8.
Really? I
I
thought
feel
you,
that. I feel that.
I guess you used
You
to
need
a
fuck
definitely-
vodka, yeah.
You need a good mix on
I
it.
feel like this
Absolutely.
is the best vodka
Yeah.
if you're gonna
You
drink
can't
it.
just be drinking Gregor's straight.
Mm-mm.
Nah,
No,
people
no
who
way.
drink
Oh, hell
it's
no.
like, yeah.
Those are alcoholics.
Who's in the live right now? Who do we got? Somebody's out here in the live.
Who do we
The
got?
squad.
I don't know.
Didn't you say a dude from Scotland joined
He
last
did
time?
last week.
It's probably them cats.
That'd be
You think?
crazy.
Probably. Just fucking keep it rolling. Hop into this fucking pod. Get it
It's
going.
wild.
It is crazy.
Yo, can I slide over just like a little bit so I can see Dill? Or will I be out of frame?
Probably.
I would just be careful.
I'm gonna do a quick lean, Bryce, like this.
I got you.
We'll be all right.
I'm gonna work with
We'll
you.
make it
here.
work.
Bet.
We'll make it. Ooh, my bad, bro. Let's get into the interview though. So Bryce has got an interesting story. He's lived a fucking life that not many people do, and we wanted to fucking get the experience out there. It's definitely gonna be a different type of pod. We're usually trying to make things fun and not too serious, but this week we got a different type of cat on, different type of guest, different type of pod.
the real
so-
deal Holyfield.
Real
Have to
deal
dig
Holyfield.
in.
Real deal Holyfield.
Yep. So what we wanted to start with, and we talked about a little bit of what we were going to talk about beforehand, but you said you wanted to start around 5 years old, and that's around the time pre-foster care, right?
For sure.
My first question was, you experienced unfortunate and traumatic events in your life, obviously, earlier. What were they, and how did it shape before foster care? Like, what do you remember? What's the most important thing that you remember when you were a kid?
Before 5 or
Before, yeah, 5 years old.
Well, let's let the audience know and shit. Like, this is our fucking boy growing up. We knew
Yeah,
this
we
dude
didn't bring
fucking.
him in.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
like-
yeah.
make
It's
the-
not just
let's-
some random cat.
This
My
ain't
bad.
some fucking random cat that we dragging on
Crazy.
here. This is fucking our fucking boy played football, fucking baseball, fucking
Grew up.
school. Grew up with this motherfucker. Went to elementary school with this motherfucker. So fucking.
Way back.
Just wanted to
Yeah,
let that. I just
a
wanted to
long
make
time
that.
boy.
Just had to clarify that so fucking our audience
Just like
knows what's
almost
good.
probably anybody that comes on here is probably gonna be a long time boy.
or
a
no.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
But
we're
for
all-
the people that may not
yeah, for the people
grew
who
up with him,
yeah,
homie.
I appreciate that, guys.
Got you, B.
definitely. But
I say I really can't remember anything before 5, and I think it's just because even if they were tragic, I didn't understand it. So that's why I said 5 or 6, that age.
yeah,
A lot happened in that year. Like my house getting raided a couple times.
so like, if you had to pick out one of those things that really truly stuck with you and you probably think about the most now today.
One time I came downstairs to get a bottle of milk. I was on the bottle until I was 7 years old. Out of the microwave, because I just did it myself at that point. I was old enough. I was 7. And I came downstairs to use the microwave, and my mom was standing still. Like, it seemed like she was frozen in time. And at that point, I realized, like, my mom wasn't just, like, a normal mom, like, who had fun with her friends. Like, that was when it really hit me. Like, I think there's something really wrong. Or not wrong. It wasn't wrong then to me. It was just, like, alarming. And as a 7-year-old kid, it was alarming. It was a wake-up call even then. Like, wow, I think that I should maybe start opening my eyes more and more. Like, maybe
You
I
got
should.
to the age where you couldn't really be lied to, where you started to think for yourself, and you were
Yeah.
just like, "What the fuck's
Like,
going on?"
For
make
sure.
This makes
Yeah.
sense.
For sure. So I'd say that's one that, like, stuck with me and haunted me and, like, was vivid in my mind for a very, very long time until, like, we rekindled our relationship years later.
Mm.
How'd that feel like rekindling the relationship years later? Like,
1 second, this drink is fantastic.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, I know how to mix them.
It's good.
Hey, this is a great mix.
So later in the story, you'll find out about when I got my DUI and I moved back with her, and that's when we rekindled things. But at that point in my life, I was still very struggling with drugs, and my mom is 17 or 16 years clean now, off of heroin, crack, you name it. And I was not being positive toward, like, I wasn't I was being very selfish. I was bringing drugs into her house. I was coming into her house still on drugs. So things didn't work out there, and our relationship that we had built for that year that I lived with her again all just fell apart, and we hadn't talked for a couple years. And then obviously I swallowed my pride. I realized once I got started getting clean, started realizing like this was all really my fault, and the drugs had me blaming every single other person for this. Yeah, I apologized. I reached out, and ever since then it's just been like fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy, like the clarity you can have like after you go through something like that. Like I couldn't relate to that because I didn't go through it, but I mean, a drug addiction to me would be so like I feel in my eyes it seems like you can't really see anything else in the background when you're on drugs, right?
Yes, or you get to the point where you don't value yourself anymore because you have let so many people you value down, or you've let yourself down. You've like missed out on so many of your goals that you just, that's your only way of finding like a up in your life.
Did you have like what kind of goals did you have when you were a kid?
I wanted to play college football at Ohio State. I wanted to go to Ohio State until I was a sophomore in high school and realized I didn't try hard enough.
Interesting. All right. So, because like I was wondering that because you went through foster care, and I want to talk about that because I want to know like how the system was to you and like how, like what did you go through anything extraordinary in the foster care system? Because you hear about like
It's not funny, but I have a funny story about it.
it like I mean like it is kind of a classic story. Like everybody who goes through foster care has like those fucking just almost a horrible experience. You never hear somebody being like, "Oh, I had a great time in foster care," until they find like the family that they land in. You know what I mean? And but when they're in the system, you know what I mean? Like, how was the system to you?
I'll give you just the rundown because that's I was put into foster care around 7, like almost 8 years old.
Yep.
So
Was this like after like DCYF or whatever?
yeah,
like,
DCYF was actually always involved in my life because my sister was my mom had lost custody of her too while I was still living there, like while I was being raised.
Was your sister older?
Yeah, she's 10 years older than me.
10 years older.
Love you,
yeah.
Katie. Yeah.
So fucking she experienced a lot of fucking
She was in the
loss.
system a lot longer than I was.
Yeah, and then
My
fucking,
sister was never adopted.
Oh, all right, okay. And then DCYF was just all over fucking.
My mom.
Yeah, at that point, so you're just fucking had to be moved around.
That's a crazy story. I was actually kidnapped by my dad.
Holy shit.
My mom had just got picked up on a warrant for boosting. If you know what boosting is.
Yeah.
Okay, for boosting clothes, and she was in jail. And my dad and his mother kidnapped me and took me to meet this woman and live with them in Florida, in Sarasota, Florida.
What?
And they drove me. It was like a 21 hour drive. And
7
they
years
told
old?
me, yeah, they probably just about 7.
Fuck.
And like
I
you
remember
remember that, right? Like,
vividly.
Holy shit.
Vividly. I remember the car being stuffed and me being like,
What the fuck?
wait a minute. If we were just going to Disney World, why would we have all the TVs? You know what I mean?
Yo,
Crazy.
what
We
the
knew you were there
fuck?
for the long haul.
So, long story short, like I said, I grew up fast. I had to start realizing people aren't really telling me the truth. Like, there's always some fabrication here.
Facts.
So we get to this house. He tells me that, like, oh, this is our new life, all this stuff. We're going to Disney this week. And I had no plans to that. Like, you know, I've always been that guy who's going to express his feelings, like, no matter what, ever since
100%.
I was a little kid. And I'm sorry, Lacey. I made that woman's life a living hell for a week, like, kicking holes in her wall as like a 7-year-old, like doing the most, like breaking her dishes on the floor, like
Just
anything.
pissed, or-
I just was so upset that my dad literally just like was like, yeah, this is your new life. You're never seeing your mom again.
That's wild.
So then, obviously, we get kicked out because I'm doing crazy shit every night, like breaking her pans, like
Bugging.
going
Just
into
bugging out.
into the room, just like dumping all the clothes out of the drawers, like just crazy stupid shit you would do it as a kid. And we get kicked out, and my dad ends up like driving all the way back up to the East Coast. And I guess he realized that he wanted to put me in foster care in Rhode Island instead of Massachusetts, where I'm originally from. I'm originally from Fall River, Massachusetts. To be petty towards my mom, like, so my mom would have no idea what was really up with me when she got out of jail. And that's really the only reason I got to meet my boys.
That's
was out of a petty decision out of my
My
father.
Was it? How long were you in? When you go to foster care, are you in like just basically like a hostel where it's like a bunch of other random kids until you get a home?
That was my darkest point, and that came at like my third spot.
Why, it was terrible. Kids were just fucked.
Nah, it was just like I wasn't getting the visits.
Yeah.
Like my mom wasn't really showing up, my dad wasn't really showing up, and I realized like, yo, I'm at like a shelter for kids who don't have parents.
Yeah.
Like, where are my parents?
So you were hyped when you got the call about Patty and Carl, or you were kind of nervous about?
There wasn't really like a call. My social worker just showed up because the family I had before was my old foster family before I came to was a foster child of the Lombardos, and I was adopted by them. They were the Maroons. They lived in Westerly. I lived with them for a year, and they were retiring, moving to South Carolina. They had already adopted a son. They were just straight up with me. They were like, we don't have like the space, or there was like a long conversation like, we're gonna try and keep you in the family, but there's just no way we can make this happen. So I'd honestly, as a child, it didn't hurt me that bad because I had been through like
all
this
that
is my
other
fourth,
and
fifth.
shit.
This is my fifth placement. I had already spent like 6 months in a pretty much shelter for abandoned kids. Like, you know what I mean? I've been through some shit already.
Yes, you already seen it.
Yeah.
Fuck, this can't be any worse.
Exactly.
Fucking
Exactly. And then I got blessed, bro. I just what happened was I met my parents. I met my mom. My dad was at work that day. And my brother. At like the playground after school, like they just told me like, they wanted me to like have like I don't remember the wording, but some type of visitation without saying visitation.
Yeah, exactly.
So it wasn't like weird or like pressure or anything on me. And me and my brother just like played around the playground, stuff like that. And then I just got like informed that they would be my new home and stuff like that, and I moved in.
Down the road.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy how that shit fit, because it was like, it like was like you weren't adopted, like you were literally just fam. You know what I mean? Like it was just, yeah, shit just fit. Like when I first met you, I didn't know any of that shit. You know,
I remember that.
Just thought you were related.
I remember
You know
being
what I
like
mean?
teenagers and me telling you, or like bringing up being adopted once, and you were like, "Wait, what?" Man?
Cause you just fit in, like
Yeah.
you just fit so well,
it's
bro.
crazy.
And like they treated you just like I had never honestly seen anybody I knew who had been adopted. I'd never, you know what I mean? I was young, we were kids. You know what I mean? You don't meet them. It's a small ass town.
And this isn't a city. Like there isn't a lot of
It's
DCYF
just like
cases
the
like that.
experience, like you almost just like remember small experiences like that. Like I said, like I remember fucking like.
It's actually crazy because I remember the day I found out he was adopted. 'Cause
Right?
we were going to Lake Compounds for my birthday,
I remember that.
and we were on like the landing of my fucking porch, and you had your bag. Like it was like a orange Nike bag, and it said Heap on it. And I was like, yo, why does it say like Todd Heap? And you were like, yeah, that's my cousin.
I used to
And
cap
I was
about
a
that.
Ravens fan, so Todd Heap was the tight end. I was like, no
Yeah.
fucking way. He's like, no, that was just my adopted name. I was like, wait, what? I was like, you're adopted?
funny.
You're like, yeah, my original name was Heap. I was like, that's fucking crazy. I was like convinced for a second, and then he's like, no, I'm just bullshitting you. And that's when I found out it was like my 12th birthday to Lake Compounds.
That's fucking great.
It's a go-to
But I
story.
thought he was fucking. I really did think he related to Todd Heap. That would have been crazy.
I used to get that off on so many people, guys.
So
So
funny.
many people.
So, dude, speaking of that shit, why don't we just move like right into high school and like how we all really became fucking boys, and like how did you choose your friend groups when you got into high school? Because like when you came, like you got adopted, yeah, middle school, like you came in middle school. So like
I
how
was
did
gonna say I became pretty good like
You were good at
really
sports and
close
shit.
with Trey in middle school. I'd say he was the first one out of the three of you guys that I
Yep.
got really close with.
Through
And it was
baseball?
honestly through baseball, and it was through his dad. Like his dad gave 135% to like our team, and I like respected the crap out of that. And he was real about it. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He knew how to win, or he made us believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. And then me and Trey just obviously got closer from spending that extra time after practice together. And then obviously started hanging out at each other's houses, taking the bus home.
Seeing Chris eat the Oreos.
It's a goated story. And we'll come back to the Chris and Oreo story.
That shit was so funny, but keep going.
Funny.
All right, so how I chose my friends, I never chose my friends. I let my friends choose me,
Just
to be
come
honest.
in.
Like,
Yeah, but you know how we all like. You get friends, and certain ones come and go, and for whatever reason they do come and go. But like, what one? Like, obviously we got the friends.
Who your
we,
real
you know what I
friends
mean?
are.
Because now that the smoke settled and we're out of high school, like what I kind of meant is
I thought
the
we were
friend-
talking back in middle school.
Yeah. Yeah, but like where you start, you started your friends and stuff like that. But like now
This
that
guy.
the smoke settled, like, what friends are still here?
That's a short list, bro.
That's
Bro.
what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. Like, we could talk forever about the fucking ghosts of middle school friends and stuff like that. But like, after all of it's been said and done, after middle school, after like, what friends?
Who's still here?
Yeah, what would we still got? Like, what kind of friend groups do we still got?
Besides you three, I got John Gobbin, who's been like a big brother to me since I met him pretty much at 9 years old. I honestly have a pretty close knit bond with the people I work with, because it's like a family run shop. We're together 40 hours a week, stuff like that.
You're with those people more than you are with your family. That's why like,
Exactly.
you end up when you have a job like that, you end up getting close to those people because you're with them more than your fucking family.
Yeah.
And then one of my best friends recently passed away from a fentanyl overdose, and he was at my house 3-4 times a week before he started really going through it and trying to get help. But
I was like, what does that sound?
Oh shit.
But yeah, so I'd say, like, I don't have a big friend group, but that doesn't make me mad at all. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I think it's all kind of the same for us too. Like, I feel like we've all, cause like I can like sit back and remember how many friends that I've had and thought I was gonna have for a long time, and then now I don't have 'em. You know what I mean?
I 100% do, but when you got that drug addiction going on, you feel guilt all the time. So when you
Really?
do have a friendship fall through, even if what you did was wrong, most of the time it isn't something that really would have ended a normal friendship if you didn't do drugs. And that shit would eat me alive, because I'd be like, why can't you understand where I came from? Or like, I thought we had a deeper friendship than that.
Interesting.
So then I'd feel resentment.
So when you're you're feeling guilt, and you like, because you were just on drugs, and it like in like a layman's term, like it would be something that would literally, like, we could get over in 5 minutes if you weren't. But since you were on drugs, it's a bigger problem.
Yes, because I feel like an absurd amount of resentment, or like slapped across the face for absolutely no reason. To be honest, that's
Insane.
just the
Yeah,
it's
I couldn't imagine. Yeah.
So
no,
does
I
like
feel
the
that.
guilt? Does like the
Like, I
guilt
fell
drive
out.
you to do like the fucking?
It does,
drugs?
but then like also you're not thinking straight. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a friend could do something that really isn't anything to even get mad about, and you're just not thinking straight, and you bug out on them, and then you don't even remember it the next day, so you don't even think to apologize. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. I fell out with so many people like that.
And I feel like once you start working a 40-hour week where it's Monday through Friday and you have a consistent job, it's tougher to hang. I know every Saturday I'm gonna hang out with these guys and shit, but like we still try to chill throughout the week. But really, it's just work, get home, eat, chill with the baby, live, and then I'm trying to go to bed already because I just woke up at 7 in the morning. So it's like it's tough.
When you're a
You
drug
realize-
addict, it ain't that.
Yeah.
It's like I just got out of work. I got 12 hours to get as fucked up as I possibly can,
And do it all over again.
and then do it all over again.
When you were doing drugs, did you ever go into work like all fucked up and shit, or was it like
That's
I
kinda-
have to wait?
Did you not want to like?
I don't
sleep?
even want to talk about that.
No, it's all good. You don't have to talk about it.
But I'll definitely say there was some mornings where you wake up very sick off withdrawals, and the only way that you can remotely move is if you do a little bit.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
That's all I want to say.
I hear you.
That
It's just-
fucking.
It's
deep.
it's just a lifestyle
It's a
that
different demon.
yeah, like not many people can really.
I don't
Well,
wish it on the person I hate the most on this earth.
I was gonna say, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people are going through that shit right now, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's
No.
not abnormal. Like, a lot of people
Yeah.
are just fighting.
That's why I want to do this kind of podcast. Like, I know I can come up here with you guys and laugh and make a great,
Yeah, for
like,
sure. for
something
sure.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's
No,
it's
this can
better
definitely-
for people, like the times, like everything. I feel
where we're
like,
at. Yeah,
like-
that's 100%.
for real.
Dude, and not only that, it's just like an extraordinary story. Like, honestly, I'd never met anybody who'd been through the type of shit that you've told us. You know what I mean?
Bro, my girlfriend tries to say I live like a movie life, like something like
Yeah,
what,
dude,
like a
like-
bad backstory for a movie.
Like, if you really sat down, like, you could get, like, a book written or a movie script written. Like, it would be crazy.
I honestly want to write it down.
There would be obviously, like, embellishments and story propers and stuff like that. But, like, at the end of the day, like, the story itself would drive it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd like to write like honestly just like a memoir just to get it off my chest.
Like an autobiography.
I read a lot. I like literature. I don't look like a kid who would like literature, but
It's sick. That's what I studied.
The
That's
anime
my degree is
man.
in.
you know I got the T on under this.
My degree is in literature.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
That's awesome. I didn't know you were into that shit.
Hell yeah, man. The people that made people smart.
Mm.
All right, or to start thinking, I should say.
Yep.
Pass me a Sprite.
Absolutely, brother.
Thank you.
You gonna fit some Sprite
So
in there?
fucking.
It's Kearney's.
Oh, it's Kearney's.
Now that you're like fucking clean and shit, like
3
what's-
years in August, baby.
What was the first fucking step in fighting that shit? Like actually, like the
Move
first
on
steps
to,
in like beating it.
Well,
Like,
I wanted
I tried to beat it so many times. So like the first step had to like it was a trial and error thing.
Mm.
That's the best way I can describe that. I mean, I'll get into the trials and errors. but,
yeah.
that's a
I'm
short
with you.
answer.
What I wanted to get into really was like how it became heavy, because it wasn't high school because you were straight, you know what I mean? Like high school, it was fun and it was like trying it out. You know what I mean? We all saw it and we all
Mhm.
like, you know what I mean? We were all around for it. Like we saw the progression obviously a little bit before you took off to college. But from what I understood and what we talked about earlier this week in the pre-interview, college was where you found drugs heavy.
The deepest.
The deepest.
The deepest until like I had some tragedy happen in my family, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys knew. I always dabbled. I had like this little like mean thing inside my body that I wanted to prove that I was better than like my biological parents. Like I wanted to prove that I could be the one that could do the drugs and could be successful no matter what. Like I wanted to have even more of a reason to resent them.
Yeah.
That was just the kind of person I was. I was so full of
It could never be you. Type shit.
exactly. Like or even if it
Yeah,
was,
but isn't that everybody, man? We're all like that.
But-
Like, everybody's like, it could never be me, and then it is you, and then you're fucked.
no, it wasn't even that. It was like I want to prove it's not me.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I get
It
that.
was like
that is different.
screw it. If it is me, then I'll forgive her. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I had a lot better relationship with my mother than my father.
mm-hmm.
So yes, that was my thought process. Like, you know what? If I get hooked, I forgive her. But I mean, that's a 16, 15-year-old's thoughts.
That is crazy, man.
But yeah, or like I knew that I
So,
knew
like-
taking pills out of my parents' like cabinet was a really bad idea. But I was like, you know what? I want to see if I can do it. I want to see if I can be that 1%. I want to see if I
And
can
that-
be better than them.
And that was in high school, right?
Yeah, that was like my freshman.
So
year.
that's like that.
14.
That was high
Nah,
school.
I'm old. I was always like a year older than my grade. So I was
Oh, that's
15, 16,
15,
17, 18.
That's facts.
But yeah, I'd say 15 was when I first started really experimenting. And then I had
Like-
an ex-girlfriend who was like completely like, come on, like this is not you at all. And I went dead sober. I quit everything my sophomore year.
Yeah.
I quit everything. And then that's actually my junior year. I'm sorry. My sophomore year I was still screwing around. Dibbling, dabbling.
Was that like was that like partly to blame because of the like class of 2012, like chilling with all of them?
I'm not gonna say that that's not where I got my pills. Like when pills are readily available in school, why am I gonna risk my parents finding out?
Yeah.
Like when I can do it face to face in a bathroom stall.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wesley High School, you weren't the best.
And, like,
No.
a lot of
that-
people.
Terrible.
But you know what, dude? That's fucking high school. Yeah, like that is what it is, bro. People are bringing drugs into school. Like I remember I saw kids doing shit in the bathroom all the time. Like
I remember seeing kids rip bogeys in the bathroom.
yeah, dude. Ripping
Yeah, but that's different than pulling a full pill bottle out, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, dude, listen, I've seen I've seen that type of shit too.
Oh, okay.
I actually have.
Wait, was it me?
You never saw that type
Oh,
of shit? I've
no, that's
definitely
a
saw
lie.
that from a certain group of kids. I'm not gonna say no names.
I was gonna say
but-
I can't say names right now,
But
like,
no, for sure. And, like,
Yeah, you
I
don't
wouldn't
think
even
of it,
say
man.
like I wouldn't even say like I don't like those kids. Like some of those kids made it out the other end. You know what I mean? Some of them are
Okay.
straight.
some of them got fucked up.
But dude,
Don't
it's
give
just
up hope.
It's
It doesn't matter how fucked up they got.
Yeah.
Don't give up hope.
You never do.
But
you know,
to get back to it, where like what? Why in college? Like what was it? Like cuz like I can guess like that obviously it's way easier to get drugs in college and
This
it's
is actually
crazy,
a funny
but-
story.
Yeah, no, it's just like it is cuz like I've seen it happen to a few people in college too. Don't
See-
worry, you're all good with that.
I got to clarify. I laugh a lot about this stuff because it's the only way I can forgive myself. None of this is funny. I just want to clarify that.
yeah.
No, we get it. Trust me, everybody's got their own fucking way of doing it.
Exactly.
But
It's my way of coping.
100%.
But yeah, I just wanted to know like why college and like what made you? Cause like you obviously didn't take college seriously.
Absolutely not. I didn't want to go. My parents forced me to go.
That's
Sorry,
what it
Mom
was.
and Dad.
That's what it was. Cause like I remember having a conversation with you about it, and like you were kind of excited, but not like I'm going to college.
Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, like it was never like something like like everybody knew like Bryce was going to college, and like it was like you know what I mean. Like usually people who are like ready to go to college are like talking about it, or like you didn't really talk about it.
Hell no. I talked about missing you guys. Because
Yeah.
honestly, I had more friends. Excuse me. I had more friends that were younger than me,
Yep.
like in grades below. Like I truthfully didn't want to leave Westerly. Like I don't want to go make new friends. Like I just opened. Like these kids know my real self. They know my real
Can I
story.
ask you a question about that too, real quick?
Yeah.
Do you think that you didn't want to leave Westerly because it was like this was the first place of stability?
For sure,
Like-
bro. That's all I crave. That's all I crave to this day. I can't help it. It's just it from all the PTSD and trauma I've been through like childhood and losing family members and shit, bro. The only thing I crave in life is stability.
And was stability
Steve.
for you? Was stability for you like, or is stability for you to have a strong relationship with somebody else, whether it be your family or a girl or your friends? Does it have to be that, or can you do it on your own? Or is that the next step?
That's the next step to getting clean.
That's the next.
You
step.
got to find it you got to find that stability in yourself. And then there's going to be times when, like, I'll be honest, I'm almost 3 years clean. And 3 or 4 months ago I had the first time where I really was like, I might go look for him, you know? I might do it. I don't care anymore, like, and my girlfriend was the only one who was like, what are you talking about? Like, think about how much, like, what? Like, absolutely
How
not.
long it's
Your
been.
girlfriend now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's dope. Good shit.
And absolutely not. Like, I obviously never, yeah. But yeah, that's the only time in the almost 3 years.
It's insane.
It was after, rest in peace, Tyler Killeen, man.
Yeah.
Just had to say that one time.
No doubt.
Crazy.
Rest in peace to anybody who fucking falls
Anybody
to
suffering either.
Anybody
Anybody suffering right now. Anyone who's passed, who's gone through anybody who's passed, like lost fucking friends
family.
and family and all that other shit. Fucking, like Bryce said, there is fucking hope. There's, you know.
There's always that light at the end of the tunnel. So they say.
So I don't know if we really got clarified, but oh yeah, I interrupted you with the question.
That's
but
okay.
with the college stuff, that's when it got heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it start? What drug?
All right. What drug?
Yeah.
Any
what
drug.
Was, yeah, but
My drug of choice?
Yeah.
I couldn't get Percocets up there or Xanax. And the only thing I could really get was lean. So I was drinking a lot of
So
lean.
it got bad then. Because that's where, I mean, that's the opiate. I mean, that's where it leads down, you know?
Yeah, that wasn't like, I didn't start doing, like, I dabbled with Percocets right before I left for college.
I know. I remember in high school and stuff like it was like a little, like here
I
and
was
there.
Zanny fan.
Yeah, it was Zanny, but like if you, it was like a rare thing to find a perky or something like that.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
I never did any of them, but like I understood, like cause like I was like I was always around you guys, so
For sure.
I just saw, but no.
But yeah, so let me get to the story of the college thing. So I moved in. My roommate was this kid from New Jersey. He wanted to do ketamine the first night. And
K2?
ketamine, like horse tranquilizer.
Oh my god.
You know me.
You've heard.
You guys know
ketamine.
me.
I've
I'm
heard
an
of
open.
ketamine.
I'm an open dude.
I've heard of ketamine.
I
but
told
I'm
this
like,
kid, get
I
the
don't
fuck
really know
out of
what
my
it is.
face.
I don't really know what it is.
Get the fuck
Yeah,
out
no,
of here.
because, well, I had like really. I mean, I had a few experiences where like people were trying to get me to do drugs in college, and I never. It was always cocaine. It was really always cocaine. It was never something like weird, like, you know what I mean. It was never like let's go do ketamine.
Let's go do.
So like, what group of people are doing ketamine in college?
See, that's my point. Let me finish this. Ready? So, I was not for it at all. I was like, bro, I'm honestly gonna go try and find a party. Like, I'm gonna go try and do something. I don't want to like flop on the floor like a fish. Like, what the? And he got super offended, super hurt that I was not trying to like vibe out and do ketamine with him, bro. The kid dropped out of school the next day, and I had a dorm by myself
Because you wouldn't do ketamine?
because I wouldn't do ketamine with him.
And this was your dorm mate.
My
Wow.
dorm mate. So I had a full dorm. I had a double, but it was a single.
This is Rick?
This is Rick. This is like my second day of Rick. So from that point forward, bro, I'm in a long distance relationship at the time. I'm very stressed out every day. I'm like having trust issues with everything because I was a very bad boyfriend back then. I was not the man I am today. So I used that as like my biggest coping. That's when like I realized drugs were the easiest coping mechanism. Like it was so much easier to just swallow a pill, smoke some weed, and sleep it off.
Yeah.
And then try and figure it out after. But that leads to horrible things. Horrible things.
Wait, how long did you last in college?
Just over a month.
A month. So not even a semester.
No, I didn't even buy the books. I spent the money my parents wired me on drugs.
Wow. Okay, so it's just interesting to me how 1 month can turn the progression up to that level. So like you
It's
got
freedom.
so
the
how
freedom
many
and the pain.
how many drugs did you go through at college?
My parents wired me about $2,000 for books.
No, but how many different kinds?
Just lean and Xanax. I couldn't find perks in
Couldn't
college.
find really anything else. So that is really what just turned it up when
Yeah.
you went to lean. And
Yeah.
because like I feel like I remember lean in high school. Like a couple people tried it and did it and had it around.
I tried it.
Yeah, I feel like you were maybe one of them. That's crazy. How does that feel? What is lean like?
It's hard to talk about and not glorify it, to be honest with you.
I mean, dude, listen. Not everybody who does says the drugs feel bad.
Alright.
It's you know what I mean.
It's like euphoric, bro. Like you can't feel your face. You're like you can't stop smiling. Like every time you smoke weed, it's like every blunt's the best blunt you ever smoked in your life. Like
Yeah,
at least that's how it was for me.
it's crazy. I feel like, cause like, have you ever thought about like wanting to try a drug that would crazily fuck you up, but like, there's just no way you could without being addicted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've always thought about like,
There was never no fear.
yeah. If there was no fear of being addicted, and you could try it once and like not die. Like, I would definitely like maybe try heroin one time. You know what I mean?
No.
What?
No.
Dude,
Bugging
people-
out.
No,
Wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
see,
wait, no,
we'd
repeat-
have to
repeat-
terminate
Hear me out.
friendship.
Hear me out. Hear me
Repeat
out.
what you just said.
Hear me out. The way people describe it. Listen,
Repeat what you just said.
you're looking at it from the
No, I just want to hear it
perspective.
again. I just want to hear what you said.
You would like if there was no possible way of dying, no possible way of being addicted, and you were just feeling the feeling of it one time.
Okay,
You know
yeah,
what I
I
mean?
do it.
It'd probably
That-
be
you
Molly.
know what I
I
mean?
do it. I do it just to know what my mom felt.
But
Yeah,
the problem,
just to see, cause like I've never done any drug, other like I've smoked weed and you know what I mean, but I've never done any drug to fuck
Yeah.
me up. So like to think about like how many people get addicted to drugs, like it's so many. Like think, I mean, we're talking about it right now. Like there's so many people who are addicted to drugs. Wouldn't you like kind of want to empathize and understand what it feels like to be on the drug, but if there was no repercussion to being addicted?
feel like
That's
the only-
exactly why I
that's
agree
the
with you
only
right now.
way-
yeah, but the
to
problem
really
with it,
understand and empathize for that would, a lot of people are like, from a sober standpoint, you see these people, you're like, how the fuck can they not get clean and just stop doing it? So you'd really have to,
they're chasing.
yeah, you'd probably see what it feels like and be like, damn, I could definitely see how they get that. But to really understand where the fuck they're coming from, I feel like you need to be addicted yourself, and you wake up every morning like, damn, I need to go find this.
Yeah, but I
Or-
don't know if you need to feel the addiction.
They're
itself.
chasing
You gotta
their
feel
I
the
just gotta feel-
repercussions to the feeling.
Do you though? Because I feel like you need to feel why it's addicting.
I
You know
don't
what I mean? Like you feel the feeling, and then you're like, dude, this is crazy good, and like I could see why this is addicting, rather than being like, cause is it always a sad, like, is it always like, cause like you didn't start drugs, being like wasn't it fun at first?
The
You know
withdrawals,
what I mean?
I feel like are bad.
Was it-
no, that's what I'm trying to say.
Your first time doing like a drug, like even smoking weed, it wasn't just to like kind of
threw
fucking
up.
around.
I threw up.
Well, you threw up and it maybe wasn't a good experience, but when you were trying it with your friends, wasn't it like fun? Because like when I first tried smoking weed with my friends, I didn't like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't a bad experience, but it was fun to try it. You know what I mean? Like the thrill.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Going through it, like it wasn't like we knew it wasn't right at the time because we were young and like you shouldn't be doing drugs when you're that young or whatever. But like it, like there wasn't a fucking, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Because I never got too far. You know what I mean? I never went over the edge. But to me, trying it didn't feel that bad. You know what I mean? Like it was fun. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, because when you
It's
were
a
fucking,
personality trait. Like
yeah.
you either have the addictive personality trait or you don't. Like if
You're-
you ate a half a Xanax bar and you don't have that trait, you're gonna have the fucking night of your life, bro.
right.
the problem with that though is I feel like
I think that's
people
what
are
we were
chasing-
forgetting
I think
to
it was-
People are
acknowledge.
chasing that first high.
Yeah, I think that's what
And
we were
they-
forgetting to
and-
acknowledge, that there
and they
is
can't get that first high that they get
Exactly.
well,
keep chasing
that
it.
too, but
And
we're,
that's in your brain.
in your brain.
It's
so
not
you
the
want-
drug's fault.
You want the high that you first got from it, but you're
Yeah.
never getting.
I
You're
think-
never gonna get that high from it.
What you were trying to really say, I think, was you didn't go into it sad. Like, you didn't go into it
yeah.
like, I'm so pissed right now, I'm going to go find these drugs. You went into it
Yeah.
like, yo, let's all get together, we'll try weed and go into so
Yeah.
and so's backyard and smoke. You didn't go into it like, yo, my girl just told me, let's go try to find some bud.
Is that how is that how you started?
That's
even
how
smoking,
hard
even
drugs started.
That's
not
how hard.
smoking. Not
Okay,
smoking.
because like
Smoking is how you explain it. Like I just wanted to be with my boys at their house,
Yeah.
parents not there. Let's have some fun.
okay,
But I didn't
okay.
want you guys to feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I felt like I was 15 going on 45 with the shit I dealt with.
Yep.
And I
okay.
never wanted my friends to like either-
Understand.
either not understand, like, because I knew everyone knew that like there was like some deep pain in me, and like I knew you guys always respected me for it, but I never want to throw that on anyone. Like no kid needs to go through what I went through. No, like I don't care. Like I wish I told you guys and I didn't abuse. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have fell out.
To be honest, like we were probably so young and like kind of dumb about it that we, like, I mean, like
I mean,
like-
we saw it from a standpoint of Bryce, you can't, Patty and Carl, not fucking living in Watch Hill, but you got you're not living in a bum house. Like, you came to school, nice shoes, nice Jordans, so people are like, oh, he's living nice. Like, he's got Beats, he's got this, he's got that, he's got nice shit. So how can he be? But in the back of your head,
That's
you got all
exactly
the. It's
it.
like a. I don't even know how to really explain it, but you see.
No, you're nailing it.
You see somebody, they got all this nice shit, but deep down they really got some other shit that you don't even know about.
It's like honestly, I don't even want to bring up rap like that, but like it's like rappers who have 25 dead friends. Like, it's nice seeing $1 million around their neck, but you think they wake up actually happy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No way.
it's crazy.
No way. I'm almost 3 years clean, and it's still hard to be happy because my brother can't see it.
Yeah.
That's.
I have to have, like, moments
Peace,
like this.
Chris.
Like, I have to have moments like this.
actually think about it.
And
shit.
like see other people like give me some recognition, like, because I mean, to me it's like I had to do this or I was gonna die,
Yeah.
and I
You
wasn't
weren't
do-
doing
and
it
I
for a
wasn't
pat
doing
on the
that.
back. You were doing
No,
it
I
to save
never
your life.
never absolutely not I didn't. That's why I went to the methadone clinic to get off of Perkies, because that's what we're gonna get to it, but that's the drug that had me.
You're stuck.
And they had me by the soul, bro. Soul. But absolutely, I went to the methadone clinic. I wouldn't go in Westerly because I didn't want to run into any of my old plugs or bad influences and stuff like that.
Good decision.
So I would go in South Kingston. I'd wake up every single day, 6:30 before work, go do my thing, go to work. And honestly, like, a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about those places. And a lot of the things they say are true. But if you go there with the intent and the right mindset, it was the best decision I ever made.
So you need to push yourself.
You gotta want it.
You gotta want it.
You gotta want it.
You gotta
man.
want it. You gotta want it yourself. No one can want it for you. You can't have people cry to you about you. Like, it doesn't matter how many tears people you love cry in front of you.
And
Until you feel yourself that you deserve it, that's when you're gonna change.
that was
Did you have a wake up call like that?
that was my question, because like, where do you find
Rock
like, where do you? Yeah, but like, okay, so
Oh, I'll get. I mean,
okay, fair point. Rock bottom. Where is that for you? Where was
rock bottom was when my brother died. So that's way deeper into the story.
I got you. Okay.
But
we
rock bottom was losing you guys, not you guys in particular, but our friend group, like,
Everybody.
falling out here, there, everywhere. Like, every single person I fucked over, or I lied, or, you know what I mean, like,
Whatever
there's
you
always
may
something.
have done, yeah.
Something, you know what I mean, something, just not in the right mind, not being who I actually am. That was the biggest
Okay.
wake up call before, later in life.
So, what point did you move back to Fall River with your mom? Because I know it was shortly after college, right?
No. See, I spent a year at home, back home,
Yep.
and it took my parents. Honestly, you know, I love you, Patty and Carl. They're strict. So when I first moved home from Fall River, I was on a very strict schedule, like, which is understandable. I was a drug addict. I was lying all the time. I was stealing. I was, you name it. So after about like 6-8 months of like pretty much lockdown, my parents finally like gave me like free reign, and that's when I just started just not caring. Honestly, that's the best way I could describe it. Like, I just would all the money I got in my check, that's what was going towards it. And it wasn't even for me. Like, my habit wasn't that bad at the time. It was just like I had just lost my old friends. So I was dying to have my new friends treat me like my old friends, even though our bonds were nothing the same. The only thing we had in common was we both liked this stupid little pill. You know what I mean?
Shout out Patty and Carl, because that really
Yeah.
proved it wasn't. Some people adopt kids just be like, oh, look what I did, and look how great
Absolutely
of a person I
not.
am, or like didn't do it out of anything. To have a grown ass man have this drug addiction after and still allow, like, 'cause
My
you
parents
were an
never
adult,
gave
they
up on me
coulda-
one time.
They could have told you you're an adult. Like, now you're not a kid that we adopt anymore. You're an adult. You make your own decisions. You want to do this, do that, go ahead.
Facts.
They let you come right back in because you were family. They didn't treat you like anything else once you had a fallout.
And it's not like the fallout was pretty.
No, absolutely not.
So like for them to welcome me back home with open arms, it was like probably the thing I'm most appreciative to this day.
That's deep shit, man.
Fucking hey.
Good people.
And then I started getting my life together, and then my brother got it. Let's just get into that now. So I started getting my life together when I get back from Fall River. I'm living with my parents. It's super strict. I'm doing good. I'm like 6 months clean for the first time in my life. I'm just smoking weed. Smoking weed with my brother. You know what I mean? It's nothing crazy. And then my parents start giving me freedom. And I start doing the same thing, hanging out with the same people because my brother got sick. My parents aren't around. My brother's not around. So I'm hanging out with the same people, buying the same things. Except at this point,
Okay, so
I'm not sharing.
one interruption real quick because, like, I don't remember, like, I don't know if, like, you reached out to them, but I don't know if you reached out to me because I didn't find out your brother was sick until a while after he was sick, and then, like, I didn't even know what to say. Like, I remember hitting you up and we chilled that time, and, like, it was tough because it was just out of fucking nowhere for me, like, for even just for me, but I couldn't imagine for you. But, like,
I didn't reach out to anyone.
yeah, no, I know, and that's what really kills me because
I
it's like it
reached
could
out
have
to the
been
drugs,
like
man.
it could have been a different group, you know what I mean? Like it could have been a different support system. Like you know what I mean? Like I'd like to know, like,
I reached out to the people who I knew could get me what I wanted.
yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah.
But like, was it really what you wanted, or is it just like kind of
I
like
didn't want
was
to.
like the quick fix?
Quick fix.
Yeah.
Bro, I had to. When I actually got clean, I didn't leave my house for a week because I felt that shit again. I
Yup.
I felt my brother's cold body. I
Mhm.
felt all that again.
It's tough.
Mhm.
Like, for real. Like, dead sober. Like, clear-headed. Like, oh my God, that's it. I'll never see him again.
And
It's
Just
crazy.
for
then you,
for the clarification for the viewers, do you want to just like explain your brother's situation and what happened and just like a little brief fucking.
He had
just,
a
like,
battle with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma that he unfortunately lost and passed away in 2019.
Yeah, because Chris was a friend of everybody's here.
Stand up
especially, but
guy.
He was a great person. Always the nicest kid, and like he literally like he was so nice to me. I never even like he knew me through other people and was nice to me solely on the fact of that. Never like because like I remember first meeting Chris in baseball, I think, or maybe football. I think it was football. And he was always just so nice to me out of nowhere. I never met him before. No idea who really he was. Only like really kind of met Bryce briefly through you guys. And just because of that simple little connection, he was so straight to me and it was dope. And maybe I think he might know my brother too. So it's like,
he's just
Has some
really cool.
yeah,
guy.
dude. He was just like, that shit sucks, man.
funny stories with
Yeah,
Chris.
the best, dude. He was one
Let's
of
tell the
best.
Oreo story. I need something to make me smile, Collins. Tell it.
The Oreo story, dude.
Tell it.
Whenever I think of Chris or see something about Chris, it always comes to my mind. I took Bryce's bus home one day, and that was like
This is middle
huge-
school.
Middle school. Took Bryce's bus home, and they always had the most fire snacks. Like had the crazy any like drink, soda, snack, you name it. Like they had it. And Chris, they had like the 8-pack of Oreos, like just like the snack pack ones. And Chris took a whole pack of them and put them in a glass, like kind of like a glass like this, but like taller, just like a regular glass. And he fucking put them all in there and filled it up with milk and was eating them. And I think he ate like 2 packs of them, like
2.
ate it, killed the milk inside of it, ate all 8 Oreos, put another 8 in, reloaded. Bro, I think they were like 2 days before, like, I think you needed 2 or 3 more days until Monroe. They had Monroe Dairy, that shit that they leave on the
Yeah.
box. And this motherfucker drank so much milk, and Patty came home, and me and Bryce are eating something. I think it was like pizza rolls.
Pizza
You made
rolls?
pizza rolls. Me and Bryce are watching like
Sports
live.
I think it was
no,
Sports
it was,
Center.
it was like something like that.
I
We
think it
were
was Sports
sitting-
Center.
and Chris is like in the corner of their kitchen, bro. And Patty comes in and she opens the fridge. She goes, "Who the fuck drank all the milk?" And Chris is mid sip, like Oreo, like the Oreo's falling down the glass. And he's like this. He's like, and Patty closes the door, and Chris is right here. 'Cause she like didn't notice him. He was like here. Kitchen's to the left of him. He spins. She opens the door. He's like this. She yells. She slams the door, and he just. And me and
Frozen.
Bryce over there, and she's like, Christopher Andrew. His middle name is Andrew.
See, that's how vivid it is.
Christopher
That's
Andrew,
so
and she
funny.
yelled at his ass. That shit was so funny.
What
And then the
fuck,
time you
bro?
guys had beef, you and Chris had beef, but we were dry and nobody was hitting us up for bud, and we knew
This is gold.
Chris always had money, cause he worked and shit. Chris always had money or bud.
I
or
was a
like
senior.
anything.
You were a junior. My brother just graduated. He was
Yeah,
working.
He was working always had bud, and we were dry. Me and Bryce were just shooting hoops in the driveway, and Chris came home. And Bryce was like, bro, he won't sell it to me, but like if you ask Chris, I guarantee you he'll give you a nug or something. Not Chris. I was like, nah, dude. I was all nervous and shit. It was Chris. I was like, I'm not just gonna go up to ask dude for some bud. We're shooting. Chris parks his car. He gets out. He stares at Bryce. He's like, what's up? I'm like, what up, Chris? He starts walking up the thing. I was like, hey, Chris, I have a question. He stops. He turns. He's like, what? I was like, by any chance, do you have any bud you could tell me? He doesn't even look at me. He looks right up at Bryce, 'cause he knows like the person I am. Chris knew I would never just go up to him and be like, yo, could you sell me some bud? 'Cause obviously Chris didn't sell weed. And he just looks over at Bryce, looks back at me, and goes, here. And he pulled out like a cone and he gave me a joint. And he was just like, I don't want it. And he just gave us a cone, but it was crucial, and it was just so
vital.
funny because he just looked at Bryce. He knew Bryce sent me. It was like that little brother to mom type shit.
Exactly.
It's like, go ask mom. She won't
Exactly.
be mad at you.
That's exactly what it
That's
was.
exactly what happened. Chris just
So
didn't even
funny.
look at me, dude. He just looked over. He leaned forward because Bryce was like kind of like tucking behind the red Jeep. And he just looks over at Bryce and was like, this motherfucker.
I remember that. Yes, please. I
It's
remember this
fucking
shit to this day.
hilarious.
Like that.
Even chilling at your house, anytime Chris was coming in and out of the neighborhood, he'd beep to us.
Always with the fucking Mustang.
Show.
The Mustang, the Jeep.
Jeep.
Chris had mad whips.
All the whips.
Oh, we're about to lose the relevant fucking cast.
No, it'll keep going.
Oh well, I thought it goes to 8:30.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll stop if we don't stop it.
All right, word. Then we won't lose the relevant.
No,
fuck
I
it.
think it's only a stop. Like we can't do it if we start. Like we have to start in our time slot.
Nah, but Chris was a fucking good dude, and shit, he just fucking sucks, dude. Bad
Mm.
things happen to fucking great people.
It's
Really
so
do,
crazy.
dude.
But
I mean,
he'd definitely be proud to see where you're at, and it's
that's a fact, dude.
linking back up with
100%.
your fucking boys and shit, and just staying
Oh
on the right.
man, I'm not spiritual, but I really hope you can see it.
It's a fact. Yeah.
100%.
It makes me like it's to the point where I want to be spiritual, so I can believe that he sees it, but
Mm,
I'm just
course.
not a spiritual person.
I hear you.
Man,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's for you, babe girl.
Rest in peace, Big
Rest in
Chris,
peace,
man.
Chris,
He
dude.
is
Rest in
seriously the
peace.
goat.
He was, dude. Chris was so funny too.
That was my boy, bro.
Chrissy staying.
My boy. No one ever kept it realer with me in my life. Just straight up like crying in my room about like my parents giving me the truth and him just being like, "Bro, you know you're better than this. Why are you crying? Just stop being like this. You're better."
And Chris probably like showed you dude, you're new to Westerly. Westerly's
Mm.
very tight knit. Chris was like, you gotta do this, like, and especially like tips and tricks around the house and shit like that. He's probably like, yo, you know, mom and dad are gonna freak the fuck out if you do this. Just do this. And at first he's probably a little like hesitant with you, I'm sure, but like then he probably
We never really got me and my brother. We never really had the best relationship until like high school. Like it was a competition. Like I just couldn't. I've been through a lot as a kid. You know what I mean? Like it was tough. Like coming into a family where I'm not the center of attention. Because prior to being a foster kid, I was the center of attention. I was the youngest kid by 20 years.
Mm.
So my aunts, my grandfather, like my uncles, my mom, everybody was like treating me like a spoiled brat.
yeah.
I know like I come from a family of drug addicts, and we never touched on that, but we will. But I never felt poverty before I was adopted. The only reason I was taken from foster care was because my mom has a very long criminal background, and my dad gave me up because my mom lost custody due to the criminal background.
I wanted to go back to the Fall River thing real quick because I always thought it was interesting when you moved back there. For I mean, even if it was just for a year or whatever.
It was one of the best decisions I made.
Yeah. You say that all the time, and I want to know like where, like, why did you move there, and then like, obviously, in the pre-interview you mentioned that she had to kick you out.
Yes.
So, when you what made you go there? We'll start with that. So like, what made you move to Fall River?
I actually never told anybody that she kicked me out until I told you guys.
Interesting.
But yeah, I wanted to be 100% transparent. I always said that I just left because it wasn't working.
Oh yeah, it's a keep it a buck pod, so we have to keep it
Right?
a buck. So.
Keep into the buck.
But honestly, that goose kind of getting me. Mind asking that again?
No
The
problem.
The goose is getting us
So-
all. I just want to
No
let
doubt.
everyone.
Right.
Yeah, right.
The goose is getting everyone.
No problem though. I wanted to know like what was the determining decision to move to Fall River? Because we were talking about when you got back, but like what made you go there? Because I know was it the DUI?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into the DUI and then we'll go to Fall River.
So I right when I got back from college, I lost some friends right before college, and I started doing drugs in college heavy. So when I came back to Westerly, I made friends who did drugs heavy. I didn't look for friends that didn't do drugs because I lost my friends because I did drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that bro, if you do one pill a day for more than 5 days, you're gonna have a withdrawal. It doesn't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that ended up just leading to one thing after another. You get to, like, when I get to Fall River, and I can't, no matter how proud I am of my mom, no matter what I see, like, the reason I left, my parents were just like, once I got the DUI, they were like, Bryce, you're gonna die. Like, my adopted parents, like, you're gonna die. You need to go to rehab, or we're not gonna watch you die, so you need to find somewhere else to go. And honestly, I was still on drugs after, not like on drugs, like I didn't do drugs in the precinct when I was there in jail. But, like, I was still messed up from the day before when I got my DUI. I was on an obscene amount of drugs. Wow. Like, I barely remember being in a cell. Like, I got arrested at noon. I barely remember being in a cell for almost 24 hours.
Wow. So it was, like, really like that for that, like, because I remember hearing about it, and it was just, like...
You guys saw how I smoked
Wow.
weed young. I never, like, that's the one trait that I got through the blood. Like, anything I do, and that's why even drinking, I really try and take it easy. I drink like max twice a week.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah. No. We know you're straight. Fucking. We know what it like. We know the addiction isn't with that shit. You know what I mean? The addiction it's totally different. It was derived totally from
Pain.
Yeah, it was derived from a totally different source that is relieved in some sort.
Exactly.
So, to be honest, like, that's why I felt comfortable finally doing the interview, because I always wanted to make sure, like, it was finally, I mean, you're gonna be straight, because there's always a roadblock, there's always a problem, but at the same time, like, dude, you've been on such a good path for so long now, and honestly,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and we've all seen it now, like,
For real.
yeah, so
No going back.
yeah, there's no
Absolutely.
going
Came
back
a long
now.
way, brother.
Absolutely
No going
not.
back now.
And like you said, fucking, there's like come the time where like you've thought about even going back to it, like over a stressful time, like, and you had your girlfriend there to fucking help fucking tell you no, that shit ain't it. But like
100%.
for like someone who doesn't like have that, like someone who's actually like depressed, like doesn't really have anybody to like.
I would have never forgave myself if I bought that pill. That's what I have to say to that person.
Okay.
Ever. Because these like, in August will be 3 years. I didn't fuck up one time. I didn't relapse one time. A lot of people relapse and they still consider themselves clean because it was one time. I have not taken one of those damn pills.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely not.
God bless,
Respect.
brother. Good shit.
Absolute
That's
respect.
all about.
Because fucking, I mean, like we said.
Snort one of those damn pills. I didn't
Yeah.
take them.
100%, dude.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that either. You're not supposed to take your medication through your nose. And, like, if you're taking your medication through your nose, you should understand you have a goddamn problem.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that.
There's a reason there's an instructions list on the pill bottle.
Absolutely.
Do not snort.
Literally.
I mean, there's a reason why they made it a pill.
Exactly.
If they made it a powder.
Exactly.
They would have told you to snort it.
And like,
There it is.
I remember like during the pre-pod, you were saying fucking like you can't even find like those real perks anymore that you were finding
Doing
back in
drugs
your
off
day.
the street now is a fucking death sentence.
Bro, let's talk about the day I'd finally gave. Like, I was like, I will never do the pills again.
Absolutely, let's get to it.
Alright.
I'd love to lighten this up.
So, I have an older cousin. He doesn't want me to mention his name, but I have an older cousin. He also been through the opiate abuse problems.
Yeah.
And we were together in my apartment, and I used to shave my perks down with a hose clamp because it was the way to get the most powder.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of using a card and smashing them, you could shave it down and get way more powder. And I was tweaking so bad, and like I wouldn't withdrawal so bad that I ended up slicing my finger clean with the hose clamp, bleeding. I was in such a bad state, bro, that I blew a bloody line.
It's crazy.
And my cousin just looked at me, and he was just like, I can't, like, he had tears in his eyes, but he's a grown man, he's been through a lot. Like, he didn't cry, but I could just tell, like, that killed him to watch. And he just begged me to try and get help, and I was like, you know what, man, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? It's got to be better than this. You know, it's got to be better than this.
You saw the fucking bloody fucking line.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the...
something more to this shit.
Like, even if I'm sad every day or pissed off that my brother died or whatever the hell that I was using as a crutch to keep doing what I was doing, what is that really gonna do? Like,
It's not helping you.
it's not
bringing
helping
you
me,
down.
bro. Like, I'm broke. I was broke. Like, I'm spending
Still spending. that
every single dollar
shit on
just
that
to
shit,
not be sick. Like, I was barely getting high at that point.
just to like settle the withdrawal.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Crazy, man. And that's why I said in the beginning of the podcast that I don't wish opiate addiction on the person I hate the most in this world.
It's really like
Because it is vicious. I thought I was one of the most strong mentally person. Like, I thought that there was no shot I'd ever struggle putting something down.
And you were fucking dope
to
sick.
be honest,
Dope sick.
To be honest, bro, I thought the same when I met you and was hanging out with you for all those years. Like, I always thought, for all the stories that you would tell me, and us probably for sure, we probably all heard them. Like, from all the stuff that you told me, I'm like, wow, this still is like, you know what I mean? A lot of people would go crazy and we all know the kids that I'm kind of talking about.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd be one of those. You know what I mean? And I'm not even talking about like, 'cause like, not even drug addiction, but like behavior. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, the way you carried yourself, the way, you like interacted with people, it was totally a different type of like, you're a special person is what I'm trying to say, kind of, is that like most people who come out of that situation and grew up the way you grew up, because like once you get to middle school you've already learned enough to how to behave, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So in a way, like, I'm almost interested to where you learned right from wrong. Like, where did that? Like, I don't even, because like it's fucking tough for me to really understand. From such an early age, you went to foster care around 5-6. Like, that's insane to me. And then you get to middle school and you come here, and this.
In those first 5 years, I'm seeing people OD in my house.
That's what I'm saying. So like, where do you differentiate right from wrong if that's all you know?
Because I always had to put a front on for school, like, not to put out like my old
like,
family, but
how do you even learn how to do that? Like, it's just interesting.
your parents.
Do your parents
I
let
swear
you
to
know,
God,
like,
I
what's
see.
good?
I swear to God,
That's
my
how it
parents
works.
told me straight up. You ever get asked about anything in school? You say no. I'm in
Interesting.
kindergarten. I'm in first
Interesting.
grade.
So like, there is in the back of their head, because like I understand like a drug addiction can blur the mind. So it's like, even though they probably, like, obviously they love you, they care about you, but they're addicted to drugs at the time, in their own way, they're trying to protect you and themselves from being separated. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, it is kind of conniving to be like, don't tell anybody what's going on inside the house.
That's what I was about to say. I think it was really more about themselves.
Yeah, but, like, you know that, like, behind that, because there's obviously outside influence on their personality.
Yeah.
You know your mom clean and she's not a bad person.
No.
So it's like.
But my mom is 100% different. My mom is not the woman I knew before I was adopted.
Of course, but she's
My mom's tough as nails.
tough as
these
nails,
Came
but
a
she's
long way.
clean. She's got a clear head.
days. For sure.
You didn't know her.
She's
before.
happy.
When you were young, you didn't know her with a clear head. So like how could you really even
Exactly.
know? You know what I mean? Like so it's
Exactly.
like all we could really assume is that with the outside influence and the drugs, now knowing her, I mean you now knowing her later as a good person,
Yes.
she might very well. I mean she could have been, she could have not have been, but we'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she was a good person before drugs. So it's like, I mean, drugs were probably the outside influence that gave them that like weird conniving, like don't tell anybody what's going on, yada yada yada.
No, my mom was a good person before the drugs. I still think my mom
Exactly.
was a good person on the drugs. She couldn't deal with grief.
Yeah.
She lost her mom and chose drugs. Like she started drinking and doing Xanax. Which is crazy because me and my mom never talked about her drug use. Like, obviously, I saw her drug use, but she was already doing way harder drugs than I started out with.
Yeah.
But me and my mom had the same path.
You didn't know the
Xanax,
start.
Percocets. I just never went to the next step. I never did heroin. But yeah, we never talked about that until after I moved back. And we had the exact same road to be going to a drug addict. Which is absurd.
Do you think you would have fucking, if you stayed on the path that you were on, fucking eventually fucking...
No. I already know what you're going to say.
I feel like he always, I feel like no matter
It was the
what,
perks.
whether
Perks.
That
I didn't care. I'd pay you. I have such a resentment towards heroin
Yeah,
for
you-
what it did to my family.
I remember
he always said that. He was like, I don't care what anybody, like, he's like, because you used to really be no bones about it. Like, yeah, I'll try this, I'll try that. Like, it was
Facts.
really, but like, we never thought it was, because like, I mean, you were never like a fucking, you pretty
Junkie.
much, you held it together though, you know what I mean? Like, anytime you're in public, it was never really that bad unless it was like a party where everybody else was all like already
Yeah.
fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, it was like a thing to be fucked up at a party. But, like, I don't know. You really you didn't make any bones about it, and like, you tried what you tried. I mean, I don't know. It's fucking.
It's just sad because some people do a Percocet and they just feel tired. But I have the type of personality and brain where I do a Percocet and it's kind of like cocaine. So I
Really?
feel like Superman.
ready to go.
I feel like I could do anything. When you're supposed to take a Percocet, it's supposed to null all your nerves and put you to sleep. That's not-
Total opposite
It's
effect.
that total opposite effect for me. And that was the problem. So I felt like I could do anything on him. So once I cut him out, I had such self-esteem problems. I had so many issues that I needed to solve. Like when me and my ex broke up, I did not bother with another female for 2 years just because I knew I had so many deep problems that I needed to figure out myself. And I knew a relationship would never work again if I didn't solve them.
And like a relationship could distract you from focusing on.
And it'll give you that, I don't know what's the word, that trigger.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, relationships will set you off.
They'll set you off.
Yeah, any fight, any little shit.
Exactly.
any
I wanted to
fucking-
make sure
yeah.
that I had my demons in order before I ever tried to be
Probably the
serious
best
with a girl
decision
again.
you made.
We're not saying, hopefully you guys are happy forever, but like, God forbid one day you and your girl break up, your first crutch isn't to go and fucking fall back to your old ways type shit. You know,
No.
like, I'm straight, I'm just gonna
No.
think about it, dab it out, fucking.
Yeah, it's more. I don't even.
Well, I feel like before you weren't fighting, like you didn't know this shit was gonna fuck you up like the way it did. Now you know this shit's gonna fuck me up. I can't fucking.
and there it is.
I can't fuck with this shit.
And there it is. It's like, yeah, maybe I won't think about the fight we had for tonight, but I'm gonna wake up tomorrow sick as a dog, hitting someone up, and then where am I? Right back to where I started.
Square one.
So why the fuck would I do that? Yeah, that's usually how the
100%.
mental conversation
That's
goes.
how. Yeah, yeah.
That's how I mean, that's the
the
only
only-
way. Like,
yeah.
But that's only happened one time. I will say it's only happened one time in 3 years.
But you know what, dude? It's
Thanks.
the only way to rationalize that because that's how, like, somebody who's sober would think about it. Like, it's gonna fuck me up. It's gonna feel like shit. Like, I really like what I got work tomorrow. It's gonna suck. Like, why the fuck would I do this? You know what I mean, it's gonna really
Fact.
set me back. Never mind being like an addict. You know what I mean? Like somebody who like me. Like if I got work the next morning after work that night before, I'm not having 2 drinks at the bar because I gotta come home and sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
just like it goes down to that. Never mind drugs. It's like.
Which is
fucking-
chemicals altering
Yeah.
your brain.
Yeah, so it's like I could really only imagine like how it
Willpower.
fucking feels. Yeah, 'cause like you say that it sounds simple to me, but since we're talking about it in such a deeper way, obviously it hits different. But it is a simple thing. Like it's like you rationalized it like somebody who is not addicted to anything. Would you know what I mean? That's the good sign. You know what I mean? Like you rationalized it how you should.
For real, honestly, I heard a lyric. It's just like, I got off drugs. I don't feel like an addict. Like, I know I'll be an addict for the rest of my life, but I don't feel that guilt anymore.
That's good. Yeah, see, that's what I meant earlier when I said, like, this has been relieved. You know what I mean? In a certain degree, like it's not, the addiction wasn't from the substance. You know what I mean? The addiction was derived from something totally different.
Something
And
deep.
I think everybody knew that.
I
know what
hope.
I mean,
I hope. That was one of the reasons I wanted to do this so bad. Because
I
I
mean,
feel like
people
people
who
thought I
didn't-
had a cookie
people
cutter
who
life.
didn't really give a fuck about you, which were probably the friends that aren't really friends, that don't show their face.
Don't
or
know-
won't hit your
don't really
back.
know
Who I
you.
haven't heard from
Yeah,
in
or-
5, 6
yeah,
years.
who won't hit you back even if you tried to hit them. Like we know who you are.
Thank you. I didn't have to do that myself.
But
Thank you.
Fucking, because nobody should be shunned. You know what I mean? Like obviously,
Bro, I've been accused of stealing from someone's, like breaking into someone's house for an eighth of weed. Ended a friend, like one of my best friends. Like we were friends for 6
wait, no
years.
proof, just an accusation.
No proof, just an accusation.
That's
Someone,
wild.
someone.
Well, I mean, dude, that's not a friend.
Dude, we were best friends since 7th grade until the year after high school when this accusation came out. And this accusation came out when I was in Fall River, so I couldn't even
Listen,
defend
bro,
myself.
You might have thought you were best friends, but a motherfucker who
Isn't that
could-
some shit?
he was looking. It was either he wasn't your friend or he was looking for an excuse to end your friendship, because that's bullshit, bro. Nobody. I couldn't think of any type
Off
of
an accusation.
Yo, even if you guys blind rob me a half of weed, I would not be your friend for life. You know what I mean? I'd get over it.
What if I
at
took that
some
goose bottle?
point. Dude, take it. I'll give it to you as a boy.
That's a boy.
Like, no, for real. Like you couldn't pay me really enough to give up one of my friendships that I have right now, because I know that throughout life you're not gonna make that much more, and what you got is what you got, dude.
There's crazy people out there who
You
like
you can't keep cutting
and
shit
friendships over the dumbest shit.
up. You can't,
man.
yeah, you can't end stuff over dumb shit, man.
Life's too short.
Bro, that's why it blows my mind when I see
never gave up
people-
on one of my friends in my life, and I take pride in
Nah.
that.
Yeah, nah. Fuck that. Nah,
I
if
don't
you
care
gotta-
what you're going through, man. Unless you steal from me. Unless you actually steal from me and I know it.
No, so yeah, stealing it's fucked,
100%.
But
fucking-
over accusation when someone isn't even living in the town. I lived an hour and 10 minutes away.
Mm.
Didn't have a car either. I just got a DUI. All right, next question.
So, I wanted to close it on a happy note and get down to where we want to be and where we need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, today, where are you? And how does it feel to finally have made it to the other side?
That's a really good question. Today where I am is, I've said it a couple times throughout the interview, but I'll be 3 years clean in August. After my brother died, I got PTSD really bad. I used to wake up with panic disorder, like wake up shaking, throwing up, have to crawl to the bathroom. Got on the right meds, and finally feel like I have a grip on like reality again, and like striving for him. And besides that, I mean, where does it go from now? I think was the next question, right?
Yeah, like how does it feel to be on the
Oh,
other
to be on the other
side
side.
of your bullshit? You know what I mean? Like everybody's got bullshit, but
It
I
feels.
mean, from your, cause like I mean, you're gonna find new bullshit in the future, but right now you seem like you're in a good space. So like your past bullshit, how does it feel to finally be on the other side of that?
It feels good to finally reap benefits from it.
There
Know
you
what I
go.
mean?
That's a good way to fucking look at it, bro.
That's the best way to describe
That's
it. Like
fire.
I'm finally getting people I loved back.
There you go.
That's the best way I can
That-
describe it.
That's my next. So I'm gonna go through a list real quick, and I just want you to give me a little quick checklist of how everything's going. So you got your relationship with your girl, your parents, your friends, your work, and your future.
My girl, solid as hell. We're going through it a little bit right now, but it'll work. My parents never ever turned their back on me one time. Love them to death. My work, plan on taking that place over one day.
Hell yeah.
So that's my future too, in a nutshell. Obviously
Fuck yeah.
continue being clean. I thought that was what I was saying. Yeah, I honestly want to start my own YouTube channel on anime.
Hell yeah, bro.
People know that I'm an anime nerd. So
Bro, you know where to get the space to do it. I don't know if you ever saw it, but Keep It a Buck Studios. I run the
okay.
Keep it a buck studio.
Keep
Keep it a buck
Okay.
studios.
Hell yeah. So we're gonna be running any type of show you need to be running,
Let's
and
go.
we got the equipment and the space for you to do that. But
We gonna work with you,
Final-
motherfucker.
final question for Bryce. What would you say to somebody who lives a similar life who may see this one day? What would you say to them? What do you want them to know, and what do you hope they learned?
I'm not as happy as I look.
Not as happy as you look from today?
Yeah. Like
And
I still feel guilt every day. No
And so-
matter what.
it's a work in progress always is what you want them. So it's always a work. Like,
Yeah,
you
even-
always got to keep working at it. There's never well, you can sit back and take a sigh, but there's never
Exactly.
a time. There's never a time where you can be like, I can't keep up on this.
No, it's more like I wish that I could just like forgive myself for the shit I used to do. But it just hasn't happened yet.
But that's also that goes hand in hand with keeping yourself out of that demon. You know what I mean?
Yes
Right?
and no, because the demon,
'Cause that's that pain that creeps up.
the pain that creeps up is from death, bro. Death fucks me up bad,
Yeah.
dude.
Losing.
So maybe
fucking
that's-
loved ones.
I think
Yeah.
that might be your next step is to find out how to cope with
Death.
death, and people don't need to die to do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can really find that in introspection, and really dive deep into
Yeah,
that. But
for sure.
Like you said, like it's like you
Actually,
gotta-
it's something I want to go to therapy about.
there you go. Perfect, bro. That's the best way to fucking end
That
it.
is.
That's the best way to end it, bro. That's Keep It a Buck podcast, episode 22, special edition. Bryce Lombardo, longtime boy. We got Kearney and Collins with us. Love you, boys. That's gang. Keep it a buck.
The
Gang.
goose is loose.
Dude,
Fucking solid
pod.
fatty.
That's a fatty.
How long is it? I'm drunk, so now that.
I know, I'm feeling pretty right off the goose. I'm not.
That was good.
Alright.
That was a solid hour and fucking 25 minutes.
All right, 20 minutes less than I said. Not bad.